Can I have everybody shut the fuck up for a minute?
No.
Everyone just mute themselves.
Okay. So, actually, no, I need everybody grazed. Stop.
I'm done.
Jackson, stop, or I am going to exclude you from this meeting.
Mailman, put on push to talk, please.
All right.
Why are there like news channels in the back?
There we go. All right, Solid, are you recording?
Yes, I am.
All right, so can I have everybody, starting from the top, state your name and that you're here?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I'm like second to top.
Answer the question seriously.
Answer the question seriously.
Discord name or like
Your staff
in-game name? Staff, Grazed.
Grazed?
Jackson.
Grazed.
Here.
Mr. Moose.
Here.
Pie is
And
muted.
Muffin is AFK.
Mr. Moose.
Okay, state your name then.
Yeah, asshole.
Okay. Obviously Pie's muted.
But I'm here, I'm listening.
Pie, I'm Onanea or Grizz on the server.
I'm Solid.
All right, and that's Mailman committing mic rape.
Dude, I can't help it, right?
Wabafet is here. We are all here appearing in order. Let's begin this meeting, fellas. So, the first topic question I would like to cover is, what do you expect to see out of Fudgy Gaming server? And we can start with the top and then go down the list. So starting with Grazed, what do you expect to see out of Fudgy Gaming server?
Shouldn't Fish be here?
The server. I'd expect to see a committable RP server that people can go on and enjoy their time, and maybe RP a bit.
Okay. Now you, Jackson?
Yes.
I'm too high to get a straight answer out of me. I wouldn't even ask. Just move
All
on
right.
to Moose.
Let's go to Moose.
Explains a lot.
Okay. I'd personally want to see a friendly server with active staff, a community where you can actually roleplay properly, and a place where moderators aren't just people who people complain to, where they actually have somewhat a bit of power.
Okay, Muffin.
Okay, true.
To go off what Moose said, I agree with everything you just said, and I would also like to see maybe more of a mature audience and some more mature staff, and maybe have a better way of going through roleplay and have a more sophisticated roleplay experience.
Okay, so you do know that the audience is not a controlled variable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I realize, but maybe just not like people who've had at least some experience in the game.
A respectful audience, that's what I was looking for. Alright, Nif?
Same as Mouse.
Okay. Pie?
Grace said what I was thinking about it, and Moose. But also, instead of those role-playing things, also it's fine to see people who are having fun in KOS zone. So that bunch of people will find themselves in KOSing. In role-playing in Seattle, for example, and people who might find themselves in KOS zone.
Okay.
So for both of those groups.
So what you're saying is you want everybody who wants to walk a different style to be able to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Smitty?
Well, mostly just a respectful community, responsible staff members. People, I do agree with what I said. Whereas you can walk your own kind of walk. Just a decent place to be around.
Yeah, not a cancerous community. All right, Solid?
Well, I believe we should have a fun community where you can go play as you wish, role play, a community that has great quality control, and a decent staff team that is obviously active and has the necessary tools to keep the server in good quality. I also believe that we can, in the future, expand to many different types of servers, not just roleplay, and keep all of them up to the level that we have our main server, which I would understand is number one.
Okay. Mailman?
Already that staff isn't just a cleanup crew for all of Ben's problems, because that's what we are.
That's absolutely a great point.
That's about it. That's my problem
Mhm.
with
And-
him.
Drop some mic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
to-
mute myself.
Yeah. And to expand on that, I would argue that we get treated horribly by both ends of the spectrum. I would say
Yeah.
that every time I've tried to bring something up to fish, it either gets brushed off, I get called a Jew, a faggot, a virgin. And to be honest, without us, the server would have gone to shit a long time ago. And so we are due the respect that we deserve.
Agreed.
Which brings me to my next point. What changes would you make to the current server as it is? Let's start with Grazed.
I'd say the staff members should be more, in a way, active than what they are now. Because for the past few days, I was the only admin or only moderator on the server for a bit. It's like only one is on at a time.
True.
I think there should be like 3 on at a time because not one person can handle, say, 27 kids' problems.
Yep. And it
If I may
used to
carry
be
on
that
from
way.
that.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I understand that the whitelist server is a better place to be, and you may not be able to connect to Fudgy One. Y'all can't leave me hanging here. I am one guy. I've had to deal with. I think I've been
True,
the only
true.
like staff member on.
Yep.
Period.
Fudgy 1 and Fudgy 2 I can't even find anymore. Actually, I can find
2
Fudgy 1,
is
but
down,
Fudgy 2
1
exists.
Two is down.
Yeah.
Okay,
One.
but
So
we
let me
need to
let me get back to the
the-
guided discussion. So
Okay, the placard thing. We need to find out a way so we can get placards. Let moderators can get placards again. Because everyone asked me to approve their house, but I don't have a metal scrap or anything to make the metal plaque.
absolutely, and that's why it dictates that there needs to be somebody at all times with /I on the server. That
Yeah.
being said, recently I just got a new computer. I'm available to be on, yet I haven't been able to connect due to all the connectivity issues to the server. I think I've gotten on once or twice, maybe in the past, like 2 weeks. So,
But the thing is, Fish needs to be more observative about the server. He needs to be more like, he needs to watch the amount of entities. He needs to get more staff on to clear those entities and stuff like that.
absolutely right. All right, let's move on to Mr. Moose. What do you expect, or what would you change about the server currently?
The thing I would change is the power balance in staff. Moderators should be chosen more carefully so that they're allowed to do things that we wouldn't normally be allowed to do, such as be given lasers or the ability to remove things.
Absolutely right.
It's a pain in the ass where you have to capture raid weapons just to be able to do your job.
Uh-huh.
I try to supply lasers as best I can to you guys. Let me know if you need them. What a big issue is that I am supposed to be able to invite you guys to my group, to the staff group. I cannot do that.
Because
That's
Fish
why
hasn't handed out perms in the Steam group.
he fucked up perms pretty badly. It's no surprise there. But I do, whenever I do have the bank. I usually claim the bank whenever I can, and I usually store all the placards and stuff in there. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you've seen it as of late. I do have a sign that says it. Only issue is I can't get you guys in the group. So I might just make my own.
Yep.
Alright, my turn.
Alright, so it's Muffin?
Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna go off, but I'll bring up two things. One, we really need to get our shit together when it comes to our groups and our how we sell houses, how we control the player group, how we control groups like the mafia,
Amen.
police, robbers. How we need to really control it because sometimes you'll just
Like
have like a
faction
group.
leaders.
Yeah, like
Grace-
faction leaders, exactly. We should have it so that every like if we have like an admin or a moderator, they should be the leader. We can't just have someone who has no idea what they're doing. We need to have somebody that knows the rules in the faction and controls it, keeping their under whatever you want to call it, the people under them under control and preventing them from going off just KOSing people in large groups because that happened a lot.
Absolutely
before.
We
right.
should probably reinstate
And
something.
and we should also get I know I mentioned this a lot, but we really need to get a custom map desperately because we can't just
Washington is
keep on
getting
playing.
stale.
We can't keep on playing in Washington.
I'm burnt
It's
out on
too-
Washington.
It's too small of a map, first of all, and it's just not great for RP. I mean, yes, it has its flaws and it has like good and bad parts, but if we got something like something like not Washington or Washington Large or something like that, it would be so much better.
Yeah.
The
And
thing about
possibly a new
Washington is that it's
host.
a PvP map.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
It's
is
not
that,
meant
which
for RP.
begs the question: why the fuck is it
Who
RP
left?
server
Oh, it's
now?
Mailman. Okay. Nif.
Same as mouse.
We still have a good amount of people, so it's fine.
I get that.
Nif, what's your what would you like to see changed on the server?
Like molten.
Can you is there any way to fix the quality of your mic? Solid is recording. Oh, same as Moose. Okay, he's typing because his mic quality can't change. So so I guess in that case we'll just move on to Pi.
So as I said previously, that I'd love to see people people who are rotating, and for example, you type in warp KOS and you see a group of people who are having their fun killing people in KOS zone, and don't mix it that people are killing in Seattle or somewhere that they are not allowed, and for example, raiding in houses and places which people are spending their private time on. So more comments from my side would be perfect. Like the Sheik owner, for example.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as I've said, there is a warp KOS. I back when Fish was still online, I begged him to do it until he finally caved. But that's the thing, I shouldn't have had to beg. So there is a warp KOS. There is a way for people to have fun. It's just we're not incorporating it correctly. All right, and on to Smitty. Smitty and I have discussed a couple of things along the lines of what we'd like to see changed. So I'll let him go ahead and voice those now.
My biggest issue: we need a slash rob. I am getting entire. I'm sure you guys feel the same. I'm getting sick and tired of having to deal with someone killing someone, and they can just say it's a robbery, and there's nothing I can do about that. I'm sure you guys have dealt with the same.
And you don't know who to
Yep.
believe.
And I can't. Yeah, there's no way for me to prove anything. So a slash rob system very, very quickly sorts that out.
Absolutely
Also,
right.
in regards to what Pi said, I'm I don't know how I feel when it comes to a KOS zone because it's an RP server. If with some improvements I can see it working, for example, having the death logs display location, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely
Because then
right.
I will see the kill feed blow up and I don't know what's going on. And then we have players who only play for the KOS zone.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, they shouldn't really be playing on an RP server for that, but to each their own.
Also, the other issue that you brought up to me.
Yeah, raiding is too fucking easy. I'll make that simple.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Far too easy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
No
So,
more.
a
No more
blacklist would
fucking
be-
plates.
A blacklist
more
would solve
plates.
all the problems.
Yeah, Grace, you've already had your chance.
So
Yeah, well,
a blacklist would make
Great.
A blacklist would make things so much easier because we can just remove raiding weapons from the game, and because
Absolutely
we
right.
have X whatever's weapons pack, which adds the Warthog and Shredder, raiding is too goddamn easy. And there's missile launchers and things, and if we could just remove those, it makes our lives easier.
Yeah.
Also, removing plates, tank traps, and those other obstructive buildables very much help the lag situation because it forced people to put in windows, which is sensible.
Oh, did we skip over? No, Muffin got his. Okay, yeah, but
No.
what did you need to say, Muffin?
About that, just blacklist it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need
that's
a
what
we
he
just
was
need a
saying.
blacklist.
I was looking at Shoe Server. He just has everything blacklisted, like plates blacklist, anything
Yeah.
blacklist.
And it's
And-
so
and-
easy.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
why
And
it's
that's
so
what we
good.
need.
And it helps so much.
Yep. And
And it's
All
not
right.
like it's an issue to get the plugins because without
It's not like it's gonna take you an hour to
it's
do.
that
It takes
no
you like
one
5 minutes.
wants to import them.
yeah, it's just that Fish is lazy.
somebody is lazy.
All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to Solid. What would you like to see changed
Well,
on the
I
server?
completely agree with the robberies and blacklisting. Regarding the robberies, robberies aren't the only situation. There are many situations also where it's like, for example, just one guy kills another guy. He yells KOS. I go to the situation. He shot me. Every other situation is he shot me. I really have no way of proving it.
If we
but-
could see things like, sorry to interrupt. If we could
No,
see things,
you're good.
we need to improve the death logs or kill logs, whatever you want to word them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Including
that
things
it shows
like the
damage.
health of the player, the reputation of the player, the
The
location,
damage
solves
that
so
he
many
gave.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
damage
but
given.
also if it's a quad feed, that's gonna take up the entire chat up on the left hand
The
side
thing
of
is,
the page.
we can do without where someone was attacked, so we can omit that whole like shot in the skull, stabbed in the skull. We don't care. It
Mhm.
only shows up when someone dies anyway. So if we replace that, that gives us 3 or 4 extra words of space.
That's
Actually
true.
more. And then
Yep.
we can include things like, okay, health, this, reputation, this,
We could-
location, that, done.
If we were to run that in C++, we could always just have it show instead of like saying location blank, we could just have it go ahead and say the location instead of
Yeah.
and
It's-
that would also take less.
Space is not a problem. Like it can always be streamlined. It's just so that it's only so it's easier to read for us.
Yeah.
Going and editing the data is not difficult. It's just that no one wants
Not
to do it.
difficult at all. Anyway, Solid.
Yeah.
Continue with what you wanted to say.
Also, I was thinking, if I'm not mistaken, Doug brought it up about a like more or less automatic ban system that after a ban happens, it would like automatically update some set list, and we would see everything regarding who is it, the Steam ID or whatever the admin put in, and the reason and everything.
Absolutely
Then
right.
because
I would like to add to that,
it's
if
it's
I
I'll finish one
may.
second. It's not the first time that I would see, for example, Bracoon or someone from the trial mods banning someone with an incorrect syntax, turning it out to a permanent ban, then the person messaging me 30 seconds later, why did I get banned? The reason is some random numbers and stuff like that. That happens
You
too
should
much.
never have to clean up after other stuff.
Exactly.
No.
Also, on the same note, there are many times when it's not logged in. Like 90% of the unbanned list isn't ban appeal accepted. It's not in the logs. And
It's just not in
that's
the
actually
logs.
quite mind blowing that we have so many banned people, yet we never know why they are banned. Like, who knows?
Yeah, that-
It can be a mass cursor,
Or
it can be an innocent person.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's so hard to tell. I mean, I think it's right proper what the steps that Fish actually took when he took them to have us log our bans. That way everybody knows who did what and for why. The other issue with that is say you caught 4 people raiding, and in order to keep, or 4 to 5, and in order to keep them from logging mid whenever you're putting the ban hammer down on them, you just immediately, fast as your fingers can go, get rid of them. how do you remember exactly who did what without, because if that's that's where that system comes into play. As soon as something updates on the server, we just have a ban list in console that imports over to like a paste bin or something that all the staff can read. And there's a link um, in the bans section to that paste bin that's updating every time someone gets banned on the server.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd like to add something. I don't think it's like part of something list. I would like to add something like, if you warn somebody like 3 times, he's banned for 10 minutes, and if he gets warned again, it's a 4th time, then it's half an hour, and it keeps the history of that. So if you say now it gets banned 10 times, it's a perm ban. He's never getting on again. And say now if it's 7, it's like 10-hour ban or something like that. It keeps the history of the player, and so you don't have to like.
Oh, so you don't have to
guess
like choose the time?
how.
So
No. You don't have to like you don't have to guess.
I'm back, sorry.
He's been banned 5 times for raiding. Should I ban him? Should I permanently ban him? Stuff like that.
So with that being said, that allows for very toxic people to get back into our community very quickly.
Yeah.
I think it should go as one of you previously said, that we should do a better job in picking our moderators so we can trust people to use their own discretion, use the head on their shoulders to make a solid, firm decision one way or another how long someone should be banned and the right way to do it. To use a cookie cutter template for it is the easy thing to do, and I think that the server would be a lot better if we didn't use the cookie cutter template,
Yeah.
because that's what Fish wants to put it.
Alright.
And it doesn't work that way. Trust me.
Yeah.
And if you had something to say?
Yeah. Priest got demoted for that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and then he got back.
Wait, Priest got demoted from where?
From Fudgy one time. Fish demoted him because he banned people permanently for the reason with numbers.
Oh, his syntax was
Whoa.
wrong.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying that like
syntax
just
was
happened.
wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, that's one.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I have a few more things. Also, I don't know where all the money goes from kids. I don't follow that. I haven't been too much interested. All I know is that a lot of people have been buying kits, and a lot of these kids are buying them. And I think that some of that money should be invested into actually improving either A, the host, or B, the actual server with like new plugins or new mods or whatever else.
An amazing suggestion.
But
Because
you know,
currently
excuse me.
I'm not like a professional technology guy. I don't know like all the like networking stuff, but I know one thing for sure, that the current host for the server sucks ass, and that is one of the biggest reasons why we like.
The server's definitely making money, but we just need to invest that more in like what we like. If we improve what we already have, we'll make more money. It's simple as that.
We need to convince Ben to spend more money on the server, or spend more money on whatever it.
But look, how many players bought MVP in since it was the server was released to publicity?
Absolutely right. You're
How many
one of
people?
them.
And
You're
and one MVP gives for Ben opportunity to make full investment for the server, because MVP costs £40, right? And that's and he is paying 1 month for the server to be hosted. So people are not buying MVPs quite often, so he sometimes have to pay from his pocket. It's not that he always got the money for it.
That's not right, Pi. What's going on is people are buying kits. Just the other day, somebody bought like 30 pounds worth of kits and
Oh my!
or
Oh yeah, because you
rank.
got the talking about the new kits as well.
And so
Mm-hmm. Custom
basically
kits.
The
yes.
fact that MVP is no longer garbage means that people are buying it more now because of the Juggernaut
Yes.
kit. So
Mhm.
there should still be no excuse. That kit was updated like a month, like 2-3 weeks ago, correct?
That's
In which
correct.
case,
Mhm.
and I've
Yes, it
seen
was, it
people
was.
walking around in Juggernaut shit, so they obviously bought the kit. So
Yeah.
that means the server should have been at least covered for 2 months from that.
And for people to be walking around in full Juggernaut tells me that exact thing.
Yeah, I even
Um,
know the guy I hang out with, the Papayas, he's 10. Okay, that's that. But
Mhm.
I know in the last month he's definitely bought MVP and 4 more ranks.
Yes. So
Same like me at the beginning. So,
So that being said, there's definitely an influx of money going into Ben's PayPal.
Yeah,
Can
there's no
I-
reason why we shouldn't be investing money onto the server.
Absolutely
There
Yeah,
is
right.
no
it's
reason
not like we're
for the
asking to
server-
get paid.
Yeah, we don't.
There's no
we're
reason
internet.
for the.
We're
Can you-
staff members on the internet. We don't want to get paid. We just want to be able to do our fucking job.
Exactly.
Absolutely
Like-
right. We just want
like-
to be able to do what we promised
We're
we
not
would do.
we're not asking much. We're just asking that you invest a little bit of your time and a little bit of your money into making the server a better place for everyone.
Can I just
Exactly.
add brief-
It's basically
Yeah, go ahead, Moose.
asking.
Grace.
Right. So, first thing, whenever Fish Nipple's friends play the server, he protects them no matter how much they KOS. They're like immune to everything. Where
Absolutely right.
whenever my friends play the server, I always treat them as just other people. And
Exactly.
second point is that the host, I think it's been reduced now, but before when it was at a high cap number, it wasn't able to support that, therefore like everyone lagged. And so yeah, that's the point about upgrading the host or something.
Well, the big
Nah.
issue is the host could definitely be improved.
Yeah.
So I checked yesterday when I could, when I wasn't coach
Or-
texting out because Seattle's a mess. There's only 8,000. There's less than 8,000 entities on that server, like the entire thing.
Yeah.
Or what Ben
Servers
should
should
do is
be
at
able to
least
handle
buy.
that.
Uh-huh. And
What he
what
should.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so on the whitelisted server, I did a check there. Do you know how many entities are on that? And
22.
it's
I
not
believe
what-
8,000 or 6,000 are in Kent alone, correct? And that's why you
in
can't leave.
Kent alone.
And that is
And
why you
so,
can't leave.
well, you can leave now, but it still has 8,000 entities. On the entire server, I did a /rec everything over like 10,000 radius. It has over 20,000 total entities.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's why we need that at the server.
And
Shoes or Fudgy One? Are you talking about
you
shoes? Or
don't-
Fudgy?
I'm talking about shoes whitelisted.
And that thing runs. That thing pretty much runs like a dream, especially
It runs
relative
like
to
a
Fudgy
Yeah.
One.
dream compared to Fudgy 1. And it's like,
Exactly.
what the hell is the difference?
Better host.
And I know my
Absolutely right.
PC isn't that bad that I shouldn't get on at 8K
I have.
entities.
Yeah.
I probably have a worse PC than some of you guys.
We
and
need to
I
get.
have a
wait,
worse
wait, wait,
PC
can we
than
get,
Smitty.
Can we get Shu in here and ask him who his host is?
Well, I
Uh,
can do that. I've got his
believe Pi
DMs.
knows.
Which brings me to another point. If this staff meeting with Fudgy and Fish goes bad, I have secured all of us a spot on Shu's staff team.
Oh, wow, that's thanks. That's nice of you.
I stuck out on a limb for you guys because I know you're good people and you're worth it. If you want, I can send you the DMs that he gave me, that assured me that he'd talk it over with Ozten and Master.
Yeah,
whatever
that
the hell his name is,
13-year-old manager.
to get
Co-owner now. to be
Yep.
honest.
to get us a spot somewhere. I'm not promising that it'll be the exact same rank you had on Fudgy's server. Hell, even myself, I'm going to be starting ground floor.
Same here.
So anyway, I just wanted you guys to know that
Mhm.
even if there are repercussions for speaking up against them, you're covered.
Yeah, as much as I love that, hopefully it'll never come to that.
Yeah, I thought it would be rather comedic if Shu got all of the staff from Fudgy's server.
Yep.
I don't know if he'll take 20 staff though. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, he will. He told
will?
me.
Well, I mean, he has around 3 or 4 servers, right?
Give me a
Exactly.
second. Give me a
Yes,
second.
he does have. I think he has 4. Accounting the whitelisted.
Yeah, he has 4 servers.
I just remembered my final point. Kits, they're not being responded to quick enough. I've, like, over the past few weeks, I've been having 3 people continuously messaging me saying, I've been
That
trying
they
to contact... Yeah, I've been trying to contact Fish, and he isn't giving us the kits. And then, like, they're showing me the receipts and everything, and I'm just saying the same thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
I
There's
personally can't
nothing
get
we
all
can
the
do
Fish,
about it.
and I'm a moderator,
And-
so yeah, I can't.
And that brings me to another point. Back when Fish was head admin of the server, he had the blue admin, which means he had access to all perms. He had access to every command in the book. Now that he is co-owner and Pi has stepped up to head admin, why has Pi not received the same thing?
I
That's
don't
a
even
good
have
question.
the
Having
shift and
another
F5
person-
thing.
Having
person access to
another
that would be
person,
very beneficial.
yes, it would be very beneficial to both them and us. Because if for us, on our terms, it would be beneficial because one, we've got someone who can be there to, like, say we want to host an event. You're like, hey, we're gonna have airdrop palooza, whatever, on have
Airdrop
Please,
Palooza.
God,
Have the
never
person-
again.
yeah,
Warhawks,
never again. You
Dragon
remember
Fangs.
that?
Yeah, I had to clean up after that.
Yeah, but
Hell's
that's
Fury.
just
Ah, fun times.
Just
an
a
example.
suggestion. A suggestion.
Just an example.
Mhm.
Say we want to have an event such as something like that, where everybody would benefit. Like, I mean, but once again, if we whitelist the raiding weapons, that won't be a problem again. If we have somebody with blue admin, that would definitely help. Due to Pi's been in my shoes, Pi knows exactly what the problems are on the server. He's not detached; he's involved. And it would benefit them because when they can't get, like, they don't have to do anything. Pi's already there, or I'm already there. To tell Pi, that is. I'm not asking for it for myself. But somebody will be on it. It'll benefit them because they don't have to lift a finger. Yet
Mhm.
they're being so stingy with perms. It's like, do you want the server to be successful, or are you trying to,
Oh Jesus!
or are you trying to make this a cash cow?
But seriously, currently that is what the server is currently. It's a cash cow for them,
It's a cash cow for them.
and we're
that's
just
right.
bypassers pretty much.
All right. And another point that I wanted to bring up was when has Fish ever done anything really beneficial for the server?
Apart from being in videos.
Apart from being in
wiping it.
videos
Apart
and apart from wiping it.
Well, the wiping we can do.
We could do that if somebody was given their proper perms.
Hmm.
Yes.
So that brings me back to square one. What use is there for him on the server at this point if he's not doing things?
Yeah.
Basically, he needs to stop being lazy, or he needs to step down. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, regarding this,
And,
that
you
was
know-
going to be my next point, that Fish seriously isn't helping at all. He's just like a image there that doesn't do anything.
If anything,
Yeah.
we're afraid of him because he's so unpredictable.
Exactly.
Like, he jokes around by taking people's perms away, taking people's roles away on Discord. even.
Yeah, he took mine away.
He fucking kicked me.
Fuck of it.
Uh-huh.
You deserved it. Lol.
Anyway, like I was saying, right now he's more harm than good when it comes to the
Mhm.
server, and until he changes that for himself, that's what he's gonna be.
And that pretty much continues also on to Ben, really, because currently we use Fish more or less as the owner. He's the one giving us perms. He's the one checking what the hell's going on. If he is, obviously he's lazy.
If we need something to do it, like if it's like super urgent, he might do it.
Yeah,
If it's
he
something
might.
Like update, like something useless, like give this guy perms. Nah, we'll wait. We'll give him a bit. Let's give him that.
Yep.
Like currently, 80% of the staff team and many of the normal players can't even get on the server for some unknown reason, even though we obviously know it's not entities. And we know it's server-sided because every other server works normally. And
perfectly
he
fine.
barely even knows that.
I always crash whenever I try to join the server.
Yeah, me too.
That's
I
why.
can't enter Seattle or my text breaks.
Yep. Another point I was going to bring up about Ben is that he chooses himself to remain in the dark. Does he ever take the time to check staff chat? Does he
Nope.
ever take the time to check high-ranking staff chat? Does he ever take the time to respond to my DMs when me, an admin on his server, tries to talk to him and inform him of the things that are going? Okay, just today, I sent him a message that says, "Do you even read these? Am I just wasting my time to keep you up to date with your servers?" No response. And that was at 6:53 today a.m.
Well, he might have been asleep. But...
No.
Well, no, he's online.
That's 1 p.m. in London, so.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
I think he's on right now. I think
he is on right now. He's been on
he's
since
on
I
whitelist.
DM'd him.
He's on whitelist.
That's the thing.
Okay, yeah, but regarding,
can't get on
I
there.
also think that Ben should, step up more as an owner. I understand he has busy stuff, like besides YouTube, he has other stuff, everything. But we also have, like family and other things to do. I got school myself,
Yeah, I have school too.
I think he should
That's the thing.
step up
Pretty sure all of us are
above
students.
Fish
If
a
we-
bit more and also show himself sometimes in the light.
I have high school, so
Yeah, and that's understandable. We all have different walks of life that hinder us or enable us to do different things. What we're with him, he's a YouTuber who
That's his job.
also owns 2 servers. Well, technically 3. Because
think he-
server 2 is down.
I think he let down 2 to help pull up whitelists. I'm starting to feel like that's what's happening.
That's what I'm saying too. The whitelist was the second server that I was mentioning. Anyway, that is his job. That is what he does. He makes time every other day or so, or every day, to record and upload a video on one of these servers. And so for him to be as detached and uninvolved with the people who are running it, that's a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
That's just beside him.
I would understand if he was playing on I don't know, like let's say this was Fish's server, right? He was playing on Fish's server and recording there, and then Fish would be the owner that is making these mistakes, and he's just a YouTuber that happens to play on it. But in this case, he's the owner. He should be there, when, for example, Fish is not.
Mm-hmm.
He should
be way more concerned
be
with
the
server
head of the server.
than the co-leader is.
And what
He should be more concerned than
absolutely right. And what I'm suggesting with this is I think he's under the impression that all he's doing is paying the host to run his server for him and to update it on its own. And he has no experience other than his server 1 and the whitelisted server of being the actual owner of a server, because he hasn't done it before. Um and to be honest, he's only ever recorded before on Springs RP or Chernaris. He did one series on
One
Chernaris
video.
and didn't like it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what the hell was that?
Exactly. And so what I'm saying is, he needs to sit down and take the time to learn the necessary steps of the upkeep and the running of his own servers before he records another video.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because until then, he's not going to have any idea what kind. I think that's why he's ignoring us, because he knows it's true, and because he doesn't want to sit down and take the time to learn the steps necessary, because it's not easy.
Mhm.
He'd
No one
rather
ever said it was.
he'd rather it be something really easy for him to do and record every now and then and
Make a lot of
be
money
done
and
with
then
it.
just not do anything. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's not how it works. So this will bring us to our next point. If we were to make these changes that we suggested.
Wait. I got a few more.
Okay, go ahead, Solid.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously we talked about the in-game perms. They definitely need to be fixed. They need to be set and decided who has what power, so we can operate the server properly without needing the lazy co-owner or the never-existing owner to be on themselves if they're so imaginably busy, even though he's playing Rust 24/7.
Absolutely right.
But okay, we talked about that. Next thing I would think is the Discord currently is a bit of a mess. I think the perms on the Discord are completely effed up for each and like every one of us. Like, I'm a trial moderator, yay, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, all those need to be fixed and sorted out because they look okay. It's flashy and colorful, nice and that, but it
They
looks
look
totally
like shit.
unprofessional. Also, these server info like tabs, they need to actually be used. We have an update section that has no freaking updates to the server except like a decade-old video. We have rules and info that doesn't have shit in it. It says to be friendly, quote unquote. Okay.
And also on his website, he still has Tiger listed as one of our moderators.
Yeah, that thing, you can forget about the website. That's the way I got here in the first place. I literally searched up on certain servers and found this website, and that's how I'm here. If it wasn't for that, I don't know, I wouldn't be even here. And to imagine that things lit down so, unprofessionally is just mind-blowing. But yeah, continue with the Discord. After budging Fish for a whole week and doing the whole job myself, I got him to place some decent rules in the entered server rules. Otherwise, everything else would have to be explained by a staff member in-game all the time, which is so annoying that you have to explain every single time, where's the KOS, can you KOS at airdrops, all that stuff. It's stupid.
And also on the Discord, I think we should bring the hierarchy back. Because to be honest, it's really, really confusing. To just have staff.
Yeah.
To know exactly who's who has what responsibility.
Almost every kid I meet asks me to spawn in like a metal door.
Everyone says that.
Absolutely right. And so basically what I'm saying is we should be distinguished from each other On top of that, we need to have a more rigorous application process and more selective application process.
Yeah.
More
Um,
on keen perspective, we need to be more specific on who we let in, because
uh-huh. Yep. And
yeah,
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Raccoon.
A bit
Hey,
late, but
welcome in.
great that you
So-
joined.
So let me catch him up to speed on what's going on here. We
stop.
asked. So for the record, can you go ahead and state your staff name, so that because Solid is recording.
Raccoon. The word.
Okay. President accounted for. So our first point was
Atiel.
our first point. I wasn't writing it down. What was the first one?
That
The
was
first one was what would like to see in the server.
Yep.
What would like to see improved in the server?
Oh,
Yeah.
what do you expect out of Fudgy server? That was the first.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Expect
What do you
Fudgy
expect
server.
out of the server?
Like,
Lag? Question mark?
yeah, and crashes. Some people crash.
No, I don't think you understood the question.
Wait,
What do you
No.
what do you expect
No,
from
phrase it, Warren.
an RP server? What do you expect from an RP server? Like for example, a friendly staff, steady
What do you want the
flowing.
server to be?
What do you want the server to be?
Right.
What do you expect if you join? What do you
Serious
what
staff
do you
members
do?
and- What do I
Okay,
do?
he got it.
Wait, wait.
No, what you want when you join the server? What you want to see? What you want to hear?
The expectation.
What is your expectation? of
Well,
the server?
serious staff members, take everything serious and, strict.
Oh, you
guess.
do understand that that's very tiring for the people who staff the server, right? To be serious all the time.
Not really all the time, but
Yeah, you're going robotic, buddy. Can you type it? I can read it for the record if you'd like.
I'm gonna be right back.
Let me update a role real quick so you'll be able to type. There you go. So go ahead and put it in common, and I will read it for the record.
Yeah.
Now back to the business at hand. The third point is if these changes are met, or are not met, what will be your course of action for both circumstances? We can start with Grazed.
Grazed, you're up.
Because I think he's AFK. Because all of these changes that I've read or have heard from you guys, they are not unreasonable things that we've asked for. Nobody, not one of us, has asked for a rainbow colored blimp with each one of us with like 40 hostile sentries on it, or a huge sky base or anything like that. We haven't asked for anything unreasonable.
We've all asked for something as possible.
Mm-hmm. And I think that we've back when the staff applications were open for high-ranking staff to vote on, I know I personally only upvoted people who I thought were realists,
Or
who I
worthy?
thought, or worthy. That's right, or people that I thought could carry out the job of being a staff member on this server. I know that was my mental apparatus. I'm pretty sure I could speak the same for Smitty here.
And me.
People, not a single one of us here is not a realist. That's that's my honest opinion. And so because we've asked reasonable things, it would be unreasonable to deny it or to not at least give it entertainment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so, moving on to our next person, if these requests are or are not met, Mr. Moose, what will be your course of action in both circumstances?
Well, if they are, then la-di fup and da, we get to carry on with what we were meant to be doing. We could get to do our actual job without as many things to disturb, discourage, and move us away from. But
And would you say that it would also be more of a pleasurable experience being a staff on this server?
yeah, it would. It would be enjoyable because I can remember on my first day when there wasn't many staff. There was only like 3 people, and Pi was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me, Fish, on the server, and it brought me to tears. I'm not joking, right? It brought me to tears at how stressful it was, but I wanted to try because of how hard everything was, especially back then.
Yeah.
Back then, the server was worse than it is now. So
yeah,
I think Muffin and I both know exactly what it was like before we had
God.
anything.
Oh
And
God.
there were many times that I almost lost my shit and couldn't hack it.
I resigned for a bit.
Yes, you did.
I resigned. I was out for a while.
And to be honest, 100% of the hours that I have logged on this Steam account have been on this server. And let me go check my hours again.
So far for me, it's been 300.
Once
You're going Robo.
again,
Robocop.
I've more than most people combined. I mean, that's a brag.
I believe 500 hours on this server.
So,
You're robotic.
I currently have 998 hours logged on the server. 2 more and I have 1,000.
Yeah. I'd just like to make another point about when I was first hired. Right, Fish was aware that I'd applied at first, and he said he'd read it. It took him 2 weeks to read it. And then, when he finally read it, I went a good 5 days without moderator, because he was too lazy to come on the server and give me it. So I was the moderator without moderator or any permissions.
Absolutely right. And that's another thing that needs to be streamlined. If there were more people that were able to give permissions, that would definitely help.
Yeah.
That's why I'm pushing for Pi to get blue admin, because I know he can handle it.
Exactly.
And because, to be honest, he deserves it because he is the head admin.
Yeah,
exactly.
I, in all honesty, think that there are only 2 people who I thought should succeed me were I not to get the head admin position. He was one of them. So, I think that it was well chosen. I think also that it was a fluke.
Not gonna hide the bitterness.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter. I think that it was a fluke that Fish made the right decision.
Something he wouldn't normally do.
Something he wouldn't normally do. And I think this is a stroke of good luck for us.
Yeah. One of the only unbiased things he's ever done in his life.
Absolutely right.
And just on to the point, what I'd do if none of these changes do happen. I'd happily accept a staff position in the server that you've got reserved for us.
On shoes.
Yep. Yeah, on shoes. Because if we can't get simple things that would help everyone on this server, then who's to say we shouldn't go to someone who deserves people like us?
Absolutely right. And Shu has said himself that his servers are dying.
I said that a few days ago as well. If he's not gonna appreciate us and be thankful for what he has with us, why not let us go to somebody who would appreciate us, who would not say reward,
Time
but
to help us and
take
create a good
take
server.
time to help us. Take time to like, you're doing a great job, guys. He doesn't say like, not even once saying like, good job running the server for me.
Exactly, and
Good
that
job
brings me.
having a good job being more concerned about the server than I am.
That brings me back to what Smitty said. I think none of us are paid to be on the server. We've all volunteered our time willingly through an application process to staff and manage his servers, their servers,
Problems.
technically, their problems for them. And I think the least they could do is help us and comply
Or
with
show
what we
some
ask them.
appreciation.
Or at least show some appreciation for it.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's
Right,
move
it's not
on.
like it's not like we're asking them to throw a party or anything. I mean, truly.
Yeah. Let's move on to Muffin. What would your responses be in both situations?
Sorry, just repeat me the question.
Okay, so if our reasonable requests are not met, or they are, what will be your course of action taken in both
If they're not met,
situations?
then well, I mean, you suggested choose RP, and I'm fine with that. Because to be honest, I'm a little bit sick of it. And if our courses of action, I guess, are met, well then, yay, we can actually do something on the server now, and we can actually improve it and make a better environment for the players and staff in general.
And so everyone would agree that that's what we want, is for this to be a good place for people to spend time, to have fun.
And I mean,
to
also
enjoy,
not be toxic too.
and not be toxic.
Yeah. Because that's a slight problem, I would think. Toxicity on a role-playing server that has a majority. I'm not trying to be biased here, but a majority of a young audience. This game
Absolutely
isn't.
right.
4.0 is about to come out. It's going to be a huge thing. Everyone's talking about it.
Let me stop you there. 4.0 is going to come out in like 2 years.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying it's coming out relatively soon. Not soon, but relatively soon. But I mean, Nelson's doing a lot, and that's all I have to say.
Getting back to the question, I did not receive this question. I was AFK.
Yeah. Okay. So let's jump back up to Gray's. Nif, you'll be next. So what will your responses be in both of these situations?
I would send this evidence, like the recording, to Fudgy and said, we have sat down and we have been talking, and we think that you are not appreciating us as you need to be. I would give him one last chance after that. If he doesn't step up, and if he doesn't give up, if he doesn't care, then I will leave the server. I would not want to have anything to do with this anymore, since I'm not getting even recognized.
Absolutely right.
Somebody who needs to be recognized. I just get asked, when does Fudgy get on? Can you spawn something for me?
Yep.
Come approve my building. I cannot.
Yeah.
If not, I will go to choose server. I am appreciated there. I have the things I need. I'm happy there.
And if all of you
Amazing
remember,
community.
I think all of you, I had a hand in your interview process as well. If you remember when you were interviewed, some words that I said, now this job is not one of for the faint of heart.
Oh, I totally remember that.
Not going to be easy.
I remember that. I remember that, filling that out in my application.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
Yeah, me, actually, I think, Muffin, did you have to fill out an application?
Nope.
So I guess Muffin and I are the only ones out of the entire staff team to have not had to fill out an application.
Meanwhile, we're the originals. I guess you could call us. I don't really know.
Okay, but that doesn't need to be in the recording. We need to get the facts down.
No,
Yeah, no,
there was
understandable.
there was pertinence to what I was getting ready to say, Grace. Give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
Basically, that being said, we were asked if we would be moderators on the server.
If we are willing
We
to
were
commit to the
they came to us and asked us to spend our time, parts of our lives, to help manage and to help regulate their server. They asked us to do that. And so for them not to appreciate us after having asked that request of us is absolutely asinine.
I agree with that because I was just sat on a fence one day and a fish came up to me and said, "Moose, you're a pretty cool guy. You're good for the server, blah blah blah. Do you mind filling out an application form to become a moderator?" And I was thinking, yeah, sure, if you want this, then I'll give it a go. But to just be ignored constantly and all that afterwards, what's the point in becoming staff in the first place?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? You know what surprised me the most out of me and Muffin? So Fudgy had a candidate, and Fish had a candidate for those that they were going to ask to be moderators. Guessed who was who?
Fish was you and Muffin was Fudge.
Absolutely right.
Muffin and Fudge are foods, and yeah. Amen.
Anyway, with that being said, I have personal reasons. Fish himself at one point asked me if he was ever to get abusive or ever to get toxic. I let him know. I've tried. He hasn't given me the time of day. And so that's why we're sitting in this room right now. So moving on to our next person. Nif, are you still here?
Okay, I'm back. Is it my turn? No.
Okay, with Nif not electing to speak, we'll move on to Pi.
Can you please remind me the question?
Okay, the question is if our reasonable requests are met, or not met, what are your reactions going to be to both outcomes?
It's if everything will happen, what we are asking for, it will be perfect, and I will be very pleased to play on the server which I want to play on. If it won't, I will play it. Obviously, I will be an admin, but it will be I'm sorry, but pain in the ass, like it's right now, without all those comments, which we can gain, which will approve the server. So.
Mm-hmm. And if these,
that's from me.
If they don't agree to our reasonable requests, like I prefaced, there is not a single request that we've asked for that is not reasonable.
So, I will feel like someone was pissing on me, but I think that's, they will need help anyways with all those peoples, with all those players. So I think that I will.
You will elect to end up staying. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could help on Shoes server as well, but Fish and Fudge needs help as well. So as far as I can help for anyone in this community, it's, I feel.
Yeah, you can only help. You can only help as much as they'll let you help, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
You'll only help as much as your permission will let you help.
Yep. And so, that's definitely a differing opinion from everybody here so far. So, thank you. All right, Smitty, it's your go.
Well, I do enjoy playing on the servers, but I'd like to be able to fucking play on them. It's ridiculous that we have to keep like crashing and then coming back regardless. And I'd rather.
that is relatable when teleporting.
Yeah, we just can't do it. I can't even enter Seattle without my game breaking. Literally.
Same.
So I'd like to be able to make some fixes, and if they don't want to bother fixing it, what's the point of me doing my job?
Absolutely right.
Understandable.
We can only like I just said, we can only help them as much as they want to be helped. And so if they're not going to give the time of day to help out on their own server, I don't see why I should be made to. So Solid, it is your turn. What will be your two decisions for per the outcomes?
Well, if our decisions and requests are met, I do believe I will have a great time helping the players out on the server, and I really do think that this community can grow much bigger and have much more servers in the future if everything goes well. Well, obviously, maybe only these like requests won't be the things that will do it, but in time it will happen. I think if they are met, it will be like a starting off position that everything turns in the best way it can.
Yeah.
And
it'll be the start to a new beginning that
exactly
that server desperately needs.
And if they are not met, and well, I think if they are not met, they can either go in two ways: we get fired, or they just don't get met and we stay where we are currently. Both ways, really. I think I would probably still play here a few times, just maybe fuck around a bit, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely consider going to Shoes, because overall, currently, I do think the servers there are currently better than they are here. And I think Shu is managing them a bit better than Fish and Fudgy together are doing it here. And otherwise, I will go to Samp Roleplay, aka LSRP, and Roleplay there. My role playings.
That's absolutely a valid decision. That leads us down to me. If which I doubt all of our reasonable requests are going to be answered and met.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't expect it either, but we just have to put them out there and see what they say.
We're taking a huge risk with this, but if it pays off, it
sometimes
will help
big risks make big rewards.
As it says,
it will help everybody.
As it says in the movie Rogue One, rebellions are built on hope.
Not wrong.
So
you just had to put one Waba in there.
I had to put a Star Wars quote in. Anyway,
what part of Boba?
As it if our reasonable requests are met, I would be more than happy to continue devoting my time, my energy, my resources into making sure this is successful. However, the very real and looming possibility hanging in the balance that not all of them or none of them are going to be accepted, but rejected. I find no reason why I should be found here, slaving away to no avail. I have invested my time, my money. I was one of the first to purchase kits on the server.
So, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same.
And I've invested energy. I've sacrificed things that I could have been doing. Pretty much 1,000 hours of my time have gone into this server. That's 1,000 hours that I'm not going to get back.
And to have it come out of nothing is kind of pointless.
Exactly. To have it come out to nothing, amount to nothing, is pointless. I'm not going to stand idly by and let somebody waste my time anymore. I will be left with no choice but to head over to Shoes RP.
Which
I
is
understand that a
understandable.
lot of you don't have as deep of ties to this server as I do. And therefore it would be easier for
I
you to
do,
stick
boy.
it out. I mean, yeah, Pi, you've paid a lot of money because you bought the
No,
original ticket.
it's not because of money. It's because of
Yeah.
the memories, boy.
Devotion,
The
time.
claim flags
Yeah,
and
like
everything.
Nif just said, since I got staff here, I've been spending more time from 347 to 624 hours. So, I mean, he's also he's got a lot invested into the server.
Me as well. I also have like 300 hours in like a short amount of time that I spent
Absolutely right.
grinding away on the
Mhm.
server, and it's all just gonna go to waste if nothing is gonna improve about it. I'm not gonna want to play on this, so all that
Mhm.
history is going to go to crap.
Gonna go to waste.
Oh, whoa,
That's
whoa! Duck
absolutely
and
right.
Scream! They exist!
They replied.
Scream said he was having dinner.
All right,
Jesus
Duck.
Christ, Duck.
You missed the entire
Question
Anyway,
number one.
I got him. All right. Duck, state your name because Solid's recording. Screaming at, state your name because Solid's recording.
Screaming at.
Screaming at and
Senior Duke.
come on, Duck.
He's lagging.
Okay.
What?
State your name so that it's on the record for the recording.
Mr. Duck.
Okay. Both appearing present and accounted for this meeting. Now, for the first order of business, both of you, I'll have you answer your questions in rapid succession. I'm not going to repeat them.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have to go. I'm just
Okay,
letting you guys
Muffin,
know.
you've answered all the questions. Thanks for coming.
Big thanks.
We'll set up a date and time when we can present these issues to the management.
All right, later.
All right. So, Screaming at Mr. Duck, what do you expect from a first-hand glance out of Fudgy's roleplay servers?
What?
I said,
Repeat the question, please.
What do you expect when you look at Fudgy roleplay servers from a first-hand glance?
No KOS, because it says it in the name.
Absolutely right. Okay, anything else?
Good staff.
Okay.
Active staff.
All right. And what about you, Ant?
Basically what Duck said.
Okay. Both of you having answered the first question. Second question being, if you have any changes that are to be made to this server, what are they?
More mods and plugins.
More mods and plugins?
A faction plugin. It's like they can have a SWAT job and stuff, so in-game jobs.
In-game jobs. That's
Yeah,
definitely a very valid one.
And like the /rob command and stuff.
Yep, that's one that's been
Okay,
heavily brought up
Any suggestions?
already here. And also I will expound on this question. Also, this is including the Discord. Seeing as how we discussed that as well. What would you like to see changed on the Discord as well?
I don't really know. Seems to have everything.
It has everything.
It has almost too much.
Dream.
Okay. What about you, Ant?
I'm just looking at the Discord now, seeing what it hasn't got.
People were talking about this whole staff roles, that it shouldn't be one whole staff group.
Yeah, I said that
There
we should bring the
Mhm.
hierarchy back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, and that looked much nicer.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, there's a lot of
I
stuff.
think in the Discord there's too many voice channels.
So are you guys?
There are way too many voice channels.
Oh,
That's
fuck yeah.
absolutely right.
So if you guys like are really concerned about the whole placards thing, do you want me to just make a group and invite you guys to it? Because I can.
I would be
Yes,
happy
that
to
would
join the group
definitely be great. That
if
could be.
only I could get on the server.
Yeah, that's a
Uh-huh.
good point.
And that being said, that brings us to the last point that I was just getting done deliberating with these gentlemen here. If these reasonable requests aren't met or are met, what are your decisions going to be regarding both outcomes?
Well, if they are met, I think it'll look much better.
Okay, and if they aren't, what are you going to do?
Big fish nipples.
That's what we're doing in the first one.
Okay,
We're doing
and
that
if
anyway.
This is what we're doing.
That not succeeds, what are like on other servers? What are your future plans if this server dies?
I have no idea what Grace just said.
Anyway,
If the server dies,
Gray's shh,
Revive it.
right.
Cool.
So as I was saying earlier, if the staff meeting with the management doesn't go well, I've secured us all a place on Shoes RP.
That's nice of you.
Noise.
Yep. And I have the PM proof from Shu himself. So
There's nothing to go wrong. We are talking about how we can improve the server, and if people, if Fish or Fudgy will see it as something wrong,
then they don't deserve us.
No, it will mean that they got some kind of a problem, maybe, because we are trying to improve it. We are trying to do our best to make better environment for players. So
yeah, and
I think it needs a new map.
yeah,
if
I
that's a
agree on
very
that.
valid,
Fire
that's
us,
a very
then-
valid concern. So basically, with all of that being said, seeing how everybody is caught up to speed, our final point is: are you willing to stand behind both of those decisions that you've given? I would like a yes or no indication from each person.
Yes.
Grace?
What is going on? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Moose?
Seems
Yes,
rather certain of it.
definitely.
Duck?
Yes.
Niff?
Sniff even
You
start.
too.
Yeah.
Pie?
It's
Oh,
Shh. Pie?
if I'd say no, I won't say it at the beginning. So of course, I am.
Smitty?
Of course.
Solid?
Since I'm one of those who created this currently, hell fucking yes.
And that's an absolutely yes from me.
GG, boys.
With that being said, I can conclude this meeting now that we are all in agreement. We've all voiced our concerns, and there will be a time that we will schedule an actual staff meeting on the Fudgy Discord. Now that we kind of have a mind for what we are going to say to the
We have
management.
something to build upon.
We have building blocks, we have foundation, we have ground that we can stand
We've got
on.
dirt. We've got dirt blocks.
And always remember that even if this goes bad, like I said, I've got us all covered.
All right. Now, commencing the after interview party.
No parties.
Yes,
Anyway,
party.
solid.
Party!
If you are free to stop recording so that you can save the space on your drive.
Thankfully, since I turned the quality down to pretty much 0, it hasn't even taken up half a gig.
All right, so there
So
you
that's
go.
great. So I
And
have.
also it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to press the start. The
Yep.
recording
No, no,
button.
no. I checked it. I
Yeah.
checked
Can
it.
we repeat it all, please?
I was getting ready to say he should have pulled a prank like, oh, we were supposed to be recording.
No, no, no.
I'd have
Bro.
been so mad.
I think I would have noticed that I didn't record for like
Yeah.
almost
Been
2
talking
hours.
For 90 minutes.
Yep. Anyway, I sincerely want to thank you guys for sticking in
Yeah, me too.
for sticking around as long as you did for this meeting, and also for
1 second, I can do that.
volunteering to be staff on a server that you don't have to. If you read the PM I sent to Shu, I mean every single one of those words that I sent to him.